This assignment is an introductory assignment to our course. So this is English A31, which looks at Canadian ideas and perspectives. In this course, you will be looking and reading only literature that focuses on Canadian landscapes, Canadian perspectives, and Canadian authors. So we won't be looking at anything beyond Canada. We will save that for English B31. So as we know, Canada affords us many opportunities and privileges that other countries do not afford us. So for this writing assignment, I want you to think about what has Canada afforded me. So you, not me, but you. So think about, if you are from Canada and you've lived here all your life, are you aware of what other countries are like? Other countries, some of them are very poor. Some of them do not have things like clean drinking water, shelter. They do not have free healthcare. These are things that you may not even be aware of if you've lived here all your life and never experienced anything else. So if you are one of those people that has lived in Canada all your life, tell me about what it means for you being Canadian. Do you feel lucky? Do you feel lucky to live here? What are some things that you really like about living here? And even if you want to mention some of the things maybe you don't love. I know for me, I don't love the Canadian winter, especially here in Regina. But it's just something that we, especially me, I've grown up here my whole life, we've just become very accustomed to. But I do know from doing some traveling over my lifetime that, you know what, other countries, there is a lot of poverty. There's not things like clean drinking water. It's often difficult to get food, shelter, clothing, things like that. So I feel super fortunate to be able to be here and be healthy and living in a country that is free of expression. We allow everyone to have their own opinions. We welcome all minorities, all cultures, all diverse backgrounds. So that's one of the reasons, or some of the reasons I feel very fortunate. Again, this is your own personal response. Now, if you are someone who is new to Canada or maybe just not born here, and maybe you have lived here a long time but not specifically born in Canada, I want you to tell me about how this country, our country of Canada, is different than where you were born or where you came from. Do you like living here more? Yes or no? And explain why. For most of you, I believe if you have come from another country, possibly a war-torn country, and you came over maybe even as a refugee or something like that, I would imagine that you would be feeling very privileged to be now living in Canada. But maybe there's still things that you aren't really loving about living here. So I want you to tell me about that experience for you as coming over as a new Canadian and experiencing life now being a Canadian, and hoping that myself as a Canadian and all the other Canadians already living here are welcoming you with open arms. How do you feel about living here now? Obviously, we know Canada has many things that other countries do not have. Like I've mentioned, the free healthcare, the clean water, the shelter, the other social support programs, mental health programs. We have lots of outside agencies that can help. So for both of you, writing about if you've lived in Canada all your life or if you're new to our country, reflect on whatever you think you can tell me about your experiences living here and how you feel lucky to live in Canada, or anything else really you want to tell me. I just want to take a minute here to make a note about something. You will notice in some of the assignments there is a brainstorm web included. Most of the time these are completely optional. The odd time they are worth a mark or two. Basically what the idea of the brainstorm web is just to get your ideas down on paper. So a lot of you may have writer's block initially, and after you read the assignment you just aren't quite sure what to write about. So a brainstorm web will help you organize your ideas just to kind of get you started. So just a base for where to get you going. So the center circle is always your main idea. So in this case, in our brainstorm web today for our assignment, our main idea is our identity surrounding the Canadian identity. And then the arrows coming out of the main idea in the center, so the center circle, is where you're going to put any of the thoughts or ideas you might have. So instead of just making a list of notes, this is just another way to organize. So you have your main idea in the center, and then you have all of your other ideas around the outside. I hope that makes sense.